Welcome back to the channel. Paul here again at Butt Crack Cycles. We've got a little Evo Sportster that we're working on today in this shop. We got a bike that will not charge the battery. The customer just bought this bike fairly recently, and he was like, I bought it, I was riding it home from the very first time I bought it, and he said, it was doing fine, and then I stopped to get gas, and I put gas in it, and it wouldn't start the bike up again. He said it turned the lights on, but it's like the battery just went dead on me, man. He said, so I had my wife come jump me off. I made it back home. He said, and then I went out to start the bike again in a day or so, and same deal. It's like the battery was dead, just click, 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 click. So we need to replace the stator in this motorcycle, and I'm going to show you all how to do that today on this episode. Full disclosure, I don't go into any detail at all about troubleshooting a stator on one of these bikes. They're very easy to troubleshoot, and the voltage regulator is also easy to troubleshoot on one of these motorcycles. But in the interest of keeping this episode somewhat short, we're just going to do stator replacement, and I'll do another episode in the future about stator and voltage regulator troubleshooting and diagnostics. Let's jump into the video, show you how to do a stator. This should apply to like 86 to 03, any of the rigid mount Sportsters. Some differences, of course, in year-to-year bikes. Buy a factory shop manual for your bike, but I hope this video is useful too. Enjoy. All right, so here's our bike in question. This is a 2003 Sportster. I think this is 1200. I haven't actually looked. Yeah, looks like a 1200. Here's a quick tell on these Evo Sportsters. Almost always the 1200s have black cylinders. So you kind of zoom in there. It doesn't really come in so well. You can see like how the cylinder head and the fin on the head and the cylinders itself is all black. The 883s are usually like just a brushed aluminum finish. Anyways, so this is an 03 Sportster, and like I said, the guy has complained that it's draining the battery, that the battery won't stay charged. It's been sitting on the battery charger overnight. 13.4. This thing only had about 9 volts in it when he brought it to me yesterday. So I'm going to set the camera down for just a second, and what we're going to do is we're going to start the bike with a voltmeter attached to the battery, and we're going to check some voltage on this thing really fast. So the first place we need to start is draining the primary oil, which is done by removing that drain plug right there. It's hard to see. I know it's kind of dark under there. If you're looking at your primary cover, it's basically around here, almost all the way to the back. It's in line with the little rubber stopper for the kickstand's 5/8 wrench on this bike. And while that's draining, we need to make sure we have everything off of the primary cover in order to remove it. Obviously, your stator is behind this cover. This bike has been converted to forward controls, so we'll need to take the linkage off of the shifter here. The first thing I'm going to do is take a Sharpie and mark the shift shaft and the shifter. And I usually mark them in 2 places. That way, in case the mark gets rubbed off, I know where it goes. Next, we're going to be gentle with this, but you can take like a little flathead screwdriver or a small chisel. A lot of times that'll open this up just enough that you can pull it off. The next place we need to go is to our clutch cable. Take your little black rubber slinky off. There's a lock nut here. This is what sets the cable free play, essentially. Take 2 1/2-inch wrenches and break this lock nut loose. Lefty-tighty, turn it back towards the front wheel. That one wasn't real tight. Loosen this, and then you can take this adjuster and make the cable itself, the outside sheath, needs to get shorter. So you need to tighten this in, turn it in till it goes up towards your left hand if you're using your right hand to do this like I am. Just keep going and just turn until you have a bunch of slack. And basically what we're looking for is up at the actual clutch lever on the handlebars. So you have a ton of slack in here now. So that's good. So now we come back here behind the clutch cover. These are supposed to be T27s. Someone's kind of boogered these up, which isn't too unusual. But anyways, we're gonna take them all out and take this cover off. So now that we've got that kind of uncovered, you can just take your little spring for your clutch ramp off, and then you can basically just get your screwdriver in there. Turn your little adjuster in. All right, so that'll kind of free the throw out bearing, and then you see here on this side it's open. You can just take the throw out bearing, clutch ramp, whatever you really want to call it. You just take that completely out and set it in your little magnet basket. So with all of that out of the way, we can go ahead and take the primary cover actually off. I will note that I usually go kind of center out. The Allen head on these bolts is two different sizes. So you got your smaller ones that are 3/16, and then you got two bigger ones down here at the bottom, and those are 1/4 inch. I'll also note that not all of these bolts that hold this primary cover on are the same exact size. So what I usually do is I'll take a clean piece of cardboard or paper. This is just some packing paper, actually from the customer's parts box. And as I take the bolts out of the primary, I'll lay them on this paper in the order that they go and kind of almost make an outline of the primary cover with my bolts. So all of our bolts are out. See, the cover's just kind of naturally loose now, which is nice. All we gotta do is just wiggle it and get it off that shifter shaft. Try not to make too much of a mess on the floor, but you're gonna, which is fine. Just wipe it up. And then here's one of the little dowels. The camera will focus on that. The dowel pins on one of these Evo Sportsters go kind of out here on the ends. There's one right there, one right here. Don't be too stressed out if one of these falls out. Don't worry about it. Just stick it right back in there. Everything's cool. Go ahead and pull the old gasket off because we don't need it. So now that we kind of have the primary all exposed, we need to come in here to the clutch hub. And if you look closely, there's a snap ring right around here, and we need to take that snap ring out to get the center clutch adjustment stuff out of that clutch basket, so we can access the transmission main shaft nut, which is hidden inside of there. Oh, almost had it. Instead of trying to fish this out with the screwdriver, there we go. Yeah, you see, instead of just taking a screwdriver and trying to run it around the backside, how I took the snap ring pliers and pulled it straight. If you try and fish a snap ring out with a screwdriver, you do risk bending it, which they're spring steel, they'll bend a little bit. Anyways, you take the clutch ramp out, and then now you have access to that transmission main shaft sprocket nut. This is reverse thread, lefty tighten, righty loosen. You can use an impact on the main shaft sprocket nut for the transmission. Remember, we're turning right to loosen, 1 3/16 socket here. So the camera microphone died. Y'all are gonna get a voiceover from here. A little bit of heat on the compensator nut, the rotor nut, helps break that loose. There's often red Loctite. Use a jam bar and a big breaker bar or ratchet to loosen that nut. It's lefty-loosey, 1 1/16. After you've gotten that loose, make sure you pull the washer out from underneath the clutch nut. That one is concave and it does say out on one side. Then you can kind of weasel the clutch basket and the alternator rotor off at the same time, leaving the clutch chain on, the primary chain rather, and now we're down to the stator itself. You need to get this plate loose. You can get the top one with the socket. You can't get the bottom one with anything really, unless you go ahead and take your stator bolts out, take your stator and flop it over to the side. Then you can sneak a wrench in underneath, and it makes it easy. You don't have to disconnect any of the shifter stuff. Unplug the stator. It plugs into the voltage regulator on the front right of the bike, kind of right behind the front cylinder exhaust pipe. You can see the plug there. And it runs along underneath the motorcycle, and the wiring comes into the primary housing right by the starter. Once you've gotten that out of the way, really all you got to do, you can see me here showing you how that wiring plate can just kind of get rotated over to the side. Anyways, you can pull your stator wiring through the primary, and that's it. There's your prize, one old stator to throw in the trash. Put your new stator in. This is a cycle electric stator. I highly recommend either one of these or an OEM Harley one. The bolts should have Loctite on them, and now's a good chance to check the magnets on your rotor to make sure they aren't loose. You can put your primary assembly in, just put it reverse of how you took it off, start everything on the splines, push them in together, make sure you put that tapered washer in with the out facing out, and then I'll usually put both of the nuts on at the same time, just hand tighten them. Remember, lefty tighty on the clutch one, righty tighty on the alternator. A little red Loctite here is a good thing. And then for both of them, we're going to use our jam bar and a torque wrench. We're going to be around 60 to 70 foot-pounds on the clutch nut. Click it once or twice just to make sure it's on there. And then you'll have to flip the jam bar around to the other orientation to do the alternator nut. That one torques all the way to 160 foot-pounds. Again, click it once or twice to make sure it's good. Take your jam bar out. Next up, you can see that we've put the rest of the clutch adjuster stuff back in the basket, put the snap ring back in, and then we've got the gasket sitting on the case. Just use a little bit of red grease, or even a tiny bit of chapstick, something to hold it on there that's not silicone. Make sure your back of the primary housing is nice and clean, and then you need to carefully start this on there. Put the shifter through the hole first with no O-ring. Do this without an O-ring, and then you need to get the primary chain up over the primary chain adjuster, and it'll all slide right on. You can start a bolt or two and then install a new shift shaft O-ring. Once you've done that, go ahead and start all your bolts hand tight, and then you can get the torque wrench out. These only torque to 110 inch-pounds for the smaller ones, and then like 25 for the big ones. Now you want to set the primary chain tension using the tensioner adjuster, 3/8 to 1/2 of an inch at the tightest point in the chain, so you'll often have to raise the bike up and spin the rear wheel over with the bike in gear in order to spin the primary chain so you can set that tension up and down. 3/8 to 1/2 an inch again. After that's done, go ahead and put the rest of your clutch adjuster in, and we're going to adjust the clutch. This is really simple on one of these bikes. You basically just run that screw out and just keep turning it out and out and out, and eventually you'll get to a point where you feel some resistance. It'll kind of stop, and that's the adjuster actually touching the pressure plate. Once you get it there, and I like to walk it back and forth a few times just to make sure that I have a good feel for it, turn the adjusting screw back in about 1/4 of a turn, and that's it. Go back up to your clutch cable and adjust that until you have 1/8 of an inch of free play at your clutch lever. Filled the primary up with oil. It takes roughly 1 quart. Wiring's all hooked back up. I'm going to turn the key on. And that should be run, right? Yeah. And you can see here we got the bike running. Stator is charging the battery now, which is exactly what we wanted. Awesome. We fixed it. Woohoo! Alright, so we got the bike out here running. I've done a bunch of other work to this thing too. In addition to the stator, I did a set of intake manifold seals on it, fixed some electrical stuff, serviced it for him, and he should be good to go. So I'm gonna go run this thing around the block one time, just make sure everything's good on everything that I've touched. And that'll wrap up this episode, y'all. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna walk away a little bit from the bike, but yeah, that'll wrap up this episode. Hope you learned something. Hope this episode was useful. If you're, if you got a one of these rigid mounted Sportsters, they're some of my favorite bikes, hands down. Easy to work on, cheap to buy, cheap to maintain. Parts are readily available. These are great bikes, probably some of, if not the best bikes Harley ever made for somebody who actually wants to get out there and ride on a budget and take care of their own stuff without being married to the dealership and without being constantly, in the shop. So, yeah, that's it. Stator replacement 101. Anyways, thanks for watching. See y'all on the next one. Bye.